would you rather date someone who's in their 20s because you already know they're not going to give you the pressure of saying, let's have a child, versus dating Lerato who's dating, you're thinking, hey, after a year or two, she'll already be telling me about kids. Is that something that you consider when you're looking for a life partner?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you were to meet me or meet a lady, let's say you meet a lady, you love them, they check all your boxes, but as you are conversating with them, you realize they are deep in their 30s and that conversation is something that is going to be a reality for you. Are you going to backtrack and go look for a young 21-year-old?
No, wait, let me tell you why I said yes. You know, as you're speaking, I'm thinking, you know this saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks?
Whoa.
Ooh,
right? Why am I saying that? When women turn 30 or get to that mature age, you're not open to learn about me and learn about you with me.
Yes.
You understand? So that's what I'm saying. But a younger girl still is in the phase of learning about herself, and so I can then merge, and she'll then know me, and we know each other, and then you understand. But now you guys have it figured out now.
Hello, my name is Lerato Subutuma. Welcome to another episode of In Her Shoes. And I'm not alone as per usual, but there's a twist. On this episode, we've got two gents in the building. Yes. Please introduce yourselves, guys.
So, hi guys. My name is Mubeko.
Yes, hi Mubeko.
I'm glad to be here.
Hello everyone, my name is Jay Mgomezulu and I'm a fan of the show, so I'm very happy
Shout out to Jay!
Shout out!
Hi everybody, it's Ntabi Pena, the introverted extrovert, and I'm excited about today's episode.
It's about to go down, and of course, as I already said, it's Lerato Subutuma, your woman in tech. And today, we are talking about a very fire topic. If you are wondering what that is, TikTok. Yes, not the social media. We are talking about biological clocks.
Yes.
We know when a woman when a woman comes of age, actually when you hit 30, this conversation now becomes so apparent in your life because you're thinking, hey, I need to put my ducks in a row because iskhathi sesihambile. So we're talking about biological clocks, but not only in women's lives, because the truth is fertility declines in both genders. Once you hit 30, whether you are a woman or you are a man, you start wondering about these things because genetically you are declining or deteriorating. So let's chat about it. Is this thing something that only us as girls tend to worry about? Or gentlemen, is this something that keeps you up at night? Sometimes say, hey, manje ngishaya u-30, I need to start making sure ukuthi, hey, I start reproducing. Just let's talk about it. Jay, what are your thoughts on biological clocks?
The kind of doesn't really exist all for guys, right? I know scientifically what you just said is correct, but my dad had children in his 60s.
Oh.
So the fact that men can have children like pretty much infinitely the rest of their lives, it doesn't apply on the same scale as women. And this is also just from experience, right? And you hear women talk about this. And I think after 35, it's called geriatric pregnancy. And so the risks are greater. And for guys, I think then that's where you kind of let the woman take the lead. But in terms of men, in terms of myself, I'm aware of the fact that I probably can have children until like a later age. My only issue with that, and where it does then affect is when you do look at your age mates having children.
Yes.
And you consider the fact that when you do have children, my biggest concern is I'll have children late, and I'm not going to be able to keep up with them. Like, I'm not going to be able to play with them. Like, I'll be 50 and I have a 10-year-old, you know?
Yeah.
And that's a bit like problematic.
So you're not worried about your genes, you're not worried about the fact that you might not be able to, as opposed to maybe a woman who understands that at 35, and after that it might be possible that you're actually not able to have kids. Your worry is just that you might not be active enough to run around after your toddler.
Very much so. Also, I suppose because I don't have children, I don't actually know if I can have children, and that's something that will be found out, you know. So
Sooner or later?
soon later.
Maybe.
You see, actually, because of that, I'm like, there's a precedent here. Like, I saw that man who sired me go and have children at 60, but I also tell you, like, my experience with having an older father, but older parents, there's a generational gap. And that is something I do worry about, because my own experiences have given me an insight into the fact that I couldn't connect to my parents in the same way as like my older siblings could. Like, my brother is 16 years older than me, right? And I have a sister who's 60 years old. So they have a whole different experience with our parents, because the parents were close in age with them, or they had them younger. But me being like a Latlamiki, it's different. So that is something I am concerned about in terms of, will there be that kind of connection, or will the generational gap be too much? So there is a concern on some level.
Yes. Do you have
But
concerns?
you know what? I have a question.
Okay.
I have a question.
Ask away.
Because nowadays there's this thing of, you know what, when you have kids at the right age, that is maybe 30s,
Yes.
you know, when
Yes.
you are financially stable also,
Yeah.
it's frowned upon. I think, you know, when you see an elderly person pregnant,
Yes. It's like, hi, Bowena.
You're still doing it?
Evidence. The evidence is there.
you know?
Yeah.
So I think also looking at that and how people now feel to say, maybe let me have my child at 21, and then when I'm then financially stable, I will grow up with my child. And then now we then have made it a, what do you call it, a fashion statement?
Yeah.
Something that is, we're not used to this, but that's the time that you should be having children. I think,
At 21?
I think, no, at 35.
At 35. All right.
Yes.
All
Growing
right.
up, because that's when you have figured yourself out.
Yes.
Because now you're gonna come to me and I just met you. Maybe we meet at 30, 33. And now you're telling me, look, I need children. I'm like, I don't even know you.
Do you even know yourself?
Do you even know yourself? You understand?
Yeah.
I think also
So-
with that biological clock, for me personally, it goes against so many things. Ubuzazi as umuntu, you have the pressure of your biological clock, and I always say this. I hope you guys have been watching the episodes. I always say this throughout the episodes that we've had, that sometimes I feel like maybe life was a bit too late with me. So I'm figuring and tabising out.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring anyone, a partner or a child, into an emotionally unstable environment. And I'm fully aware that I'm becoming emotionally stable. I do think I'd be a healthier parent now going forth than me being a parent when I was in my 20s. Maybe if life was different for me and I had it figured out when I was 25, I would have been a mom to a 5-year-old by now, because I literally just turned 30. So I'm speaking as somebody whose biological clock is, thank you. I'm speaking as somebody who has, and it's so frustrating, and I don't take it to heart, but it rings in my head like, what if my time really is leaving me? But then no man, there are certain things that are setting my heart on fire that I really want to do. And I feel that me ukuzipha umuntu to my partner, because I do believe that once I do decide to settle down, I'm 110% going to give myself to my partner and the family that I want to build. I don't want to be angry. A lot of people are angry, a lot of people are jealous, a lot of people are hateful towards their kids and their marriage because it stole so much from them. And if we didn't have the pressure of the biological clock, if we didn't have the pressure of umzali, if we didn't have the pressure of your in-laws, this whole pressure, and you just genuinely, you just dated, and you just dated yourself, you know, and you got to know yourself, and you made yourself happy, and you did all these things, then you wouldn't be upset seeing your child be a globetrotter. You wouldn't be upset seeing your child do the things that you've always wanted to do. Then to you, it wouldn't be something because you've lived your life 110%. So that's just me with that one.
And I think from a lady to a lady, because I heard you're telling me your dad had a kid and you're
60
later.
years.
So you already have the feasible
advantage,
evidence
yes.
to say I can wait it out
Yes.
as long as I want to. But then, as you are saying, for us women, it happens much more earlier. And there is a lot more pressure for us to actually start having kids now that we are in our 30s actually. So Jay has the advantage, you guys actually, both of you have the advantage to say, I'll have it in my later years, I still want to know you first.
Yes.
For example, like you said, like, I don't even know you. So maybe let's push 5 years in a relationship, getting to know each other. Then there's a Lerato and Tabi saying, who are saying, okay, we hear you, but genetics for her and I versus genetics for you and him are not the same. So where do we strike the balance?
And that's why they date younger girls. Men
Exactly.
mostly go.
Exactly.
Oh,
I was gonna say
No,
because they align at different times. So if I can say right that I'm kind of confident that I can have children a little later, whereas Tabi just said she just turned 30, and those thoughts around having children start in earnest in terms of there's a feeling that the window is closing, but there's not the same feeling on this side. Whereas if you do then as a man meets like someone who's younger, by the time they get to that window, you are also at the window.
So
And
is this now the preference when it comes to finding a life partner, wherein would you rather date someone who's in their 20s because you already know they're not going to give you the pressure of saying let's have a child, versus dating Lerato who's dating, you're thinking, hey, after a year or two she'll already be telling me about kids. Is that something that you consider when you're looking for a life partner?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you were to meet me or meet
Yes.
a lady, let's
Yes.
say you meet a lady, you love them, they check all your boxes, but as you are conversating with them, you realize they are deep in their 30s and that conversation is something that is going to be a reality for you. Are you going to backtrack and go look for a young 21-year-old?
No, wait, let me tell you why I said yes. You know, as you're speaking, I'm thinking, you know, this saying you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
whoa,
Right?
Yeah.
Please unpack
why,
that.
why am I saying that, man? I'm a lover of dogs, by the way.
Oh.
But now, the issue is female dogs are different from male dogs,
Okay.
right?
All right.
But now this takes me back to what? When women turn 30 or get to that mature age, it's very difficult to teach them new things. What am I saying? That if you're gonna get to know me,
this is striking
you're
a nerve, eh?
you're not open
Okay.
to learn about me and learn about you with me.
Okay.
You understand? So that's what I'm saying. But a younger child,
Okay,
let's not say child. Let's not say child. But a younger girl still is in the phase of learning about herself, and so I can then merge, and she'll then know me, and we know each other, and then you understand. But now you guys have it figured out now.
Well, are you calling us unteachable? Are you saying we are untrainable?
I'm saying it's difficult. It's not as easy.
And it's not worth the trouble. Is it not? I mean, I'm checking all your boxes.
You guys like this stage.
I don't know.
not worth
Jake,
it.
help me out.
It
Help me out.
depends. It depends, right? So my idea in terms of like choosing a partner, very high on my list is, can we negotiate? I think one of the keys to making relationships work is, can you negotiate? And what that means, I'm gonna railroad you with like my ideas, and that's not gonna come from the other side as well. We all come with preconceived ideas into relationships, right? I heard you guys speaking about lists that you have, and you might find someone, and I also heard you guys speaking about an 80-20, right? That they have some of that on their list, but not everything. And what you are weighing up is, what then is important from my list, and what can I put on the wayside? So it's the same thing in terms of, you meet someone who already has ideas about having children when they want to have children.
Yes.
And that is a conversation that's going to come up. It might not come up on the first date, but along the way it's going to come up. And what you're going to find out what my ideas are. In the perfect world, like you'll find that we have the same ideas, you know, we're on the same timeline, but the likelihood is that that's not going to happen. And yes, you might be an older woman, but if everything else checks out, It's a big deal, the children thing, but I don't think there would be, unless we're immovable, which comes back to my point of, can we negotiate? Because if we are both immovable, that means we can't negotiate, which means not just this, but everything else in the future, in this relationship, we're not going to be able to come to compromises, right? So I do think that if your goal is 33 and we are able to come, and mine was 37 or 4 years from now, yours is 2 years from now. If we can meet at 3 years, that's not a problem. I don't think that's a thing to say, you know what, you've got your own ideas, I'm going to go look for a younger girl. Because that's also, that would trouble me. Like, if I was a woman, I heard that, like, that would trouble me, because that kind of sounds like you kind of want to manipulate this person.
Which is something that, I'm sorry guys, I'm not bashing men, but naturally men are leaders. So men are just natural leaders in their character, in a relationship, in a family setting, in any type of setting. So also women are naturally submissive. So our submission, or a younger person's submission to me, might not be the same because they're more gullible. And some guys are okay. Some men take advantage of the person being gullible, because now umfundisa lento le wena ufuna ukuthi ayenze. And some guys also like the, okay, Tammy saying here, she can challenge me. Like if we are better, she's got me, you know. This is somebody who I can sit and build with and build. I'm not saying younger girls, it's not the same, but it's just different maybe with this person. And yes, I do agree with you to some extent that there are some challenges, because there are times when you'll say A and I'll say Z, but my Z really is and the reasons for my Z are very valuable. And then now your reasons for your A are valid as well. So then that's where we need to come to a balance as Abantu. And without taking hearsay from people or pressure from family about this biological clock that we're talking about, because family plays a huge role in who we are, how we become. Some people, I know in my family, I think out of all my cousins, I think my brother and I are the only people who don't have kids. I'm 30, my brother's 25, besides the younger cousins. But everybody's just like, oh, what are you waiting for? They call me the rich aunt. Or some people be like, why do you still live at home? Or biological clock is not just dating, and biological clock in your peers exists. Oh, you still live at home. Oh, you don't have a car? Or you don't have an apartment? Oh, you don't use this phone. So the biological clock thing also, oh, you don't have a business yet. What's your side hustle? Like the biological clock thing is also there in other aspects of life, not just dating. So the pressure of it, your left, right, center, you're diving.
Sorry.
No, it's okay,
I have a question. Say that you are under that pressure of your biological clock going and whatnot, and then you meet someone, right? And they check out all the boxes and everything, and then they say they don't want to have kids.
No, that's not going to work now.
I don't know the question. Is that a deal breaker?
Wait.
Yes.
Like, is that if you want children,
you are arguing.
So now this is not even biological clock. It's not a matter of he's not ready to have kids.
He just doesn't want children.
It's a matter of he does not want kids. It's not going to work. What are we doing? I want to be a mother.
We're going to be a family. You're going to be my wife.
I want to be a mother. You don't want to be a father.
Yes.
Okay, wait. So
because I get we're supposed to date with purpose, with the
100%.
intention of
My
future plans.
My intention is to travel with my wife, and we go everywhere we want to without having to worry about people.
You know what you need to do? You go find someone of the same view as you, who wants to be Dora the Explorer. So Dora Explorer, go ahead and explore the world, and that's going to be beautiful, because that is your picture of what family looks like. Don't come to a lady who has a picture of little kids running around the house, and then you're trying to convince her outside of what she actually wants, because guess what? You're wasting both of your time, because eventually you will have to address the elephant in the room. And guess what? 4 years of dating down the drain, because she's going to have to leave and find a partner who will be able to meet her expectations and her standards. Are we just jollering to jolla, guys?
I want to just comment on this quickly. What happens when now he said that you don't want to have kids and you meet someone that wants to have kids? You guys both get together, you both want to have kids, and then one of you is infertile.
Okay. That one is painful, but there's workaroundables, right? If we both want kids, when you can stick with your dogs. Human kids.
That's not what I meant. It was my roundabout to a point.
Wouldn't you say? There's many ways to go around it. Is it fertility issues? Can we do IVFs and so on and so forth? If we can't do IVFs, there's the adoption option as well. But if Unubeko is happy with the dogs and does not actually want babies, again, I'm not going to be fulfilled, because when I bring up can we adopt, he'll be like, there's no need. We have our puppies.
I'm a dad.
Adopt
Oh,
that.
you're a dad.
I'm a dad.
Adopt that.
A human dad.
You're a dad.
Yes, I have a daughter.
Oh,
okay, all right,
So,
that's nice.
hypothetically speaking, if you are in that situation and then it's you and I and you didn't want kids, hence I'm saying it wouldn't work. That situation wouldn't work, and it's better that we don't even date.
But look at this. You're not answering my question. You're not hearing.
Okay, let me hear you.
We are together,
Yes.
right? Say maybe we got together from high school and we love each other.
Yes.
But I haven't gotten around the idea of kids yet, right? And we get to our 30s and I'm like, I'm not ready.
It must end.
Thank you, Jay.
Because ultimately, I don't think your question. You keep asking the question like, "What are we doing?" Right? We are hopefully trying to get to marriage. But the thing about that is, it's not a sin to walk a path and recognize down the road that this is not for us.
But is kids then definition of marriage?
At the end of the day, you can't date every Christian man, for example. He might be spirit-filled, on fire for God. He's got his back, on check. He looks however he looks. But it doesn't mean every Christian girl is going to marry every Christian guy. So that is the point of dating. We date to see if we are compatible enough to have this life forever and ever. So if you don't want kids and I only find out this 5 years down the line that you'll never get ready for kids, it's good to call it quits amicably.
But what happened to, women who are patient, who would pray?
I've been patient since high school.
Who would
What are we patient for?
You said we were dating since high school.
You pray that, okay, God give me the dream that I want, right?
Yes.
You gave me this man. Obviously, he didn't come into my life for nothing.
Yeah.
So I want to pray that we get to
And we grow
your
together.
dream.
Yes.
So now where's that patience? Because women in the Bible used to wait, guys.
Yes.
They used to wait.
They
What
did.
happened to that? I mean,
There's
I
waiting
was
amiss.
talking about this yesterday to say, what if we are in that phase of the 400 years where God went silent? Right? But now go back to your biological clock. You are worried about that. He made you. He knows what is doing.
That is so beautiful, because whose clock actually is this one that's
Whose clock
ticking?
is this?
Because we are Christian here, guys.
Exactly.
We are our steps are ordered by the Lord, and He leads us in the best possible path for our lives. Meaning, even the timelines of our lives are ordered by Him. But here's the tick tock. It's not coming from God. So are we saying, should we just check it out? Genetics don't mean anything. I'm 30, I'm 35. Mina, I'm sticking on what the Lord says and on God's timing.
I just want to ask the gents, are you guys in relationships?
I am.
Are you in a relationship?
No, I'm not.
I don't want to, I feel like Jay is
chilling. Listen, Jay is chilling. I have plans, my brother, to have kids one day, to get married one day.
What's going
What is
on?
the plan?
So, at different points in my life, I've been wanting to get married to the point where I've put that across to people, right? In terms of, you are someone I want to marry.
Wait, I put that to lame terms. Let's put simple English. Did you propose to a lady, or did
Not
you
officially.
make it known to her in conversation that ngifuna ukukushada wena?
I made a note in conversation.
Okay.
And it didn't work out, hence I'm single. At this
Jay's single, guys.
Back in the market, hey.
By the way,
in this season of life, I'm kind of chilling, right?
Okay.
So the way I tend to explain it is, so I'm someone who I don't think marriage is something I fully aspire to, I'm someone who is content if I never get married in this lifetime. I'd prefer to be married. I think life is more beautiful with someone besides you. But if it does not happen for whatever reason, right? If it does not happen, I'm content with that outcome. With children are concerned, and I won't open this up for a conversation here because yes, I've had some conversations around this.
What happened?
I'm not always sure that I want children because I don't know if people know exactly why they want children. Because I always ask the question, why do you want children? And the answer that comes is never satisfactory for me in terms of it's never about the kids. It feels like it's always about the people who want the children.
Yes.
Like, why do you want to bring a life into this world? And there's a sense that people want to fulfill themselves through having other humans. And so that's why I'm not always certain if I do want children. Lately, I've come around to children is just what we do as human beings. We reproduce because after our own kind.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, the very deep philosophical reasons, as I'm saying, I've not found anything satisfactory to the point where I've started to think, I don't think perhaps there is a very deep answer to that question, except for the fact that, like God says in the garden, we bring forth after our own kind.
Wow.
But I am single.
You are single.
He's
healing. I've never had that. I think this is an interesting perspective before we go to your perspective, of course. So you're saying either or. So it's not a prayer point. It's not and also there's no definitive, confinements to say, I need to find a wife before I bring a life into. For you, it's just, if it happens, basically you're saying you might not get married, you might get married, you might have kids, you might not have kids. You're content with either or. So
I want to actually just add on to the question. Since you are saying, Uti, you are single right now, and you haven't found a plausible reason for somebody to say this is why we should have kids. Are you then abstaining? Are you staying away from that practice that produces kids? Are you celibate?
Exactly.
What's happening?
Can you have kids outside of wedlock? Is that
You're asking such a question?
Is that a confined to kids outside in wedlock? What's going on?
So when I
Keep
turned
the
21, when I turned 21, out of the blue, my mom had a conversation with me that if you had a child now, that's okay. Which was, when did we get here? But I am a Christian, deeply rooted in the ideas of marriage as prescribed by the Bible, which also counts to the confines of the marriage bed. I wouldn't have children outside of marriage. I do believe children belong in marriage for what the Bible says, and also the more you observe certain things, right, the more you realize God is always right. Because I've seen people with children outside of marriage. I think it's more difficult to, even if you've got the greatest co-parenting relationship, that difficulty is there, like rearing children that are not prevalent when the children come from a marriage and come within that household.
Absolutely.
And in terms of am I abstaining? Even if I wasn't, would I come on camera and say that I'm not? But I am.
And this is something you're willing to do for the rest of your life should you choose the route of not getting married?
Yeah. I've been a Christian a long time, right? And I haven't been abstaining the entirety of my Christian life. And I've seen the fruits of that when I haven't. And as a result, I've had my come to Jesus moments, and so the comfortability around it does not come from the fact that I wouldn't have desires for that, right? Yeah. But I have seen, as I'm saying, the fruits of going outside of God's parameters. It always ends up with somebody hurt, whether that's me or that is somebody else, or if there's a child, there's also then hurt that you're passing on to that person. So yeah, I'm comfortable with that if that's the path that God chooses for me.
Hey now. Ngubeko, my brother, you mentioned that you have a daughter. Yeah. So as in the same light and in the same breath where he was speaking of you are not married, right? No, so having children out of wedlock. Can you just
experience?
Should I tell you what happened with me or what's my experience?
We want your
My
experience.
experience.
Yes.
So when I had her, I think I was 28. So me and the mom, when she was born, I think, we had broken up already.
Okay.
Why did we break up? Because I wasn't willing to move back home. But anyway, because she's in KZN.
Okay, all right, got it.
She wanted me to go back and I didn't want to. And I said, you know what, that's a valid reason. I'm not willing to do it, so we can call it.
Okay.
And then the child was there.
Already?
She was pregnant. No, she was pregnant, and then I had to then look after that, and then we had broken up. And then my daughter, look, I love her to bits. But, Isaiah understands. She gets it.
Is that her name?
Isaiah.
Oh, such a nice name.
Right now.
No. That's her name. She gets it. I think I told her as she was growing up to say, you know what, mom and dad are no longer together.
Yeah.
And there's this person in our life now. So I have a girlfriend, and they met when she was still really young.
Yeah.
And she knows. So even now she went back to Pietermaritzburg. So even when we talk on the phone, she's like, so where is, and then, So for me, you are very right, because I'm a teacher and I can see certain things, like this child has, problems in the family, and these things come out differently.
Yeah.
But for, the experience that I've had in a classroom, I can tell you that, you know what, this child is brought up by grandparents. This child is brought up by mom. This child is brought up by maybe single dad. Because there was a time where I was a single dad.
About me?
There was a time where I was a single dad to Isaiah. It was just me and her in the house. And drop each other at school, come back, chill, lose the tooth. We go buy ice cream. It was things like that. I have that experience.
Yeah.
But now, were we planning to have a child? Yes and no.
Okay.
Because what happened was, I got into a place where I was financially happy. And then our relationship got to a point where our parents knew about it. And then we then got comfortable. You understand?
Yeah.
We knew that today we made a child.
Wow.
People always say that, yes.
We knew that today we made a child.
Sure.
But when the child came, I realized I was not ready for this.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's our experience. So hence I can say with my chest to say, you know what? Get to know each other.
Yes.
Grow in a sense that you're bringing a human being to the world. And they are going to watch you. Because kids, when this age, they watch you at home. They imitate and mimic you.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And then after that, then they go outside. So make sure that the picture you're painting in the house is not making them want to be people from outside more.
Sure.
So that's where this biological clock pressure leads you to.
Oh my God, what a beautiful conversation. I wish it was not ending, but just like that, we have come to a close. So I hope you picked up one or two, pointers from both the ladies and the gentlemen. I mean, it's really nice to have perspective from both genders. So you must always know, I'm just going to give you a minute, actually a second each, to bring it to a close. What is your last remark when it comes to biological clocks, and what would you say to someone who feels I'm so pressured, let me just do it, or let me just give in to the pressure, especially Christian people who are saying, I'm not married yet, I'm not financially stable yet, but guys, the age thing, let me just, what would you say to them quickly?
I'd say that if you are in the will of God and you are led by God at every station of life, you are exactly where you need to be.
Amen. Oh, beautiful. Rebecca?
It's not your clock, it's God's clock. Have faith. Have faith, wait it out.
Yes. And Tavi?
Yo, what do I say after such amazing statements? I think personally I'll be saying this to myself and any Tabis that are watching. Personally, it's you're never late. You're not running a competition with anyone else. Choose where you're focused on. So change your lens and change your focus.
Sure.
And that will bring direction into your life. Remember that direction is better than speed.
Ooh,
So, yeah.
that is so beautiful. I'm just going to wrap it up with Ecclesiastes 3 verse 11. It says, "Yet God has made everything beautiful for its own time. He has planted eternity in the human heart, but even so, people cannot see the whole scope, God's work from beginning to end." So if you can't see the whole scope, you can't surely time yourself. So just wait on the Lord and believe that He created you. So only He, even better than you, only He understands the timelines of your life. Don't compromise when it comes to your morals and standards. Biological clocks is just a social construct. You are a child of faith. So live by faith and not by sight. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe, comment, like, and stay tuned for our next episode of In Her Shoes. Thank you so much to the gentlemen that
Cheers,
joined us.
guys.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Cheers.